blind, have low vision, or have another print disability which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Dzień dobry. This is Joanne Yanitsky, and for the next hour, I'll be reading from the December 4th, 2025 issue of the Am-Pol Eagle on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Taki zimno. I hope everyone is well and keeping warm and cozy as much as you can. I try to limit my trips out as much as I can when it gets this cold. Takes too long to get dressed and bundled up. Okay, front page, Am-Pol Eagle. Gorgeous, full-color photographs. We have a beautiful photograph of the Chopin Singing Society. The director has his back to us. They are in front of the altar at Corpus Christi Church. The photo is courtesy of Cheryl Rogers, and the caption reads, Chopin Christmas Concert to air on TV. The Chopin Singing Society has taped a Christmas concert at Corpus Christi Church in Buffalo for WBBZ TV. The show will be aired on Saturday, December 20th at 4 p.m., Sunday, December 21st at 7:30 p.m., Wednesday, December 24th at 5:30 p.m., and Monday, December 29th at 8 p.m. On WBBZ TV 67.1 and on Verizon Fios and Dish at Channel 5. Enjoy a program of Kolende, or carols, to bring the Christmas season into your home. Chopin Singing Society President Mary Lou Verbeck thanked Christopher Musial, WBBZ General Manager Ronnie Dombrovsky, Ronnie D. of WBBZ's Polka Buzz and WXRL's Drive Time Polkas, John DiSculio, WBBZ Director of Productions, and Corpus Christi Church for their part in the TV concert production. Also, a beautiful Christmas manger, rather modern, but beautiful nonetheless. Local Pol Am craft show favorites. The Amanese window figurines, and that's what's in the photographs, are once again operational and were an integral part of the St. Gregory the Great Craft Show this weekend, November 28th and 29th, 2025, in Williamsville, New York. The Polish Arts Club, a primary sponsor of the event, shared its booth with St. Stanislaus Church. Robert Franczkowiak, Arts Club president, was present promoting membership in the Polish Arts Club and the December 13th multicultural concert at Canterbury Woods. Members of St. Adalbert Basilica at their booth, and there's a photo, were selling its famous chocolate novelties, including pierogi chocolate in milk, dark, and white chocolate, while St. Stanislaus was selling fused glass ornaments it commissioned from Sister Anne Therese Kelly, CSSF, Illumination Stained Glass Studio, Buffalo. And these photographs are courtesy of Christine Palczewski. And the manger scene is really cute, and the lamb is a little fuzzy stuffed lamb. It's not the typical either ceramic or porcelain. I don't know what they're made out of these days, or a carved wood, or it's just a cute little, looks like a little kid's lammy pie almost. Okay, and then there's the photographs of the Polish Arts Club display featuring Robert Franczkowiak, and he's got or had a wide variety of things he was offering. And then, let's see, there's another one. Okay, at the next photograph are members of St. Adalbert Basilica. They had a booth as well. Very colorful, looks like Christmas ornaments and some Santa Clauses, and can't make out too much because they're wrapped in, what do you call that, see-through cello, the cello bags that you put things in. But just bright photographs to brighten up the day. So, Polish Arts Club to host Old World Christmas Concert. The Polish Arts Club will present Old World Christmas Concert, a joyous cultural celebration honoring the organization's 80th holiday anniversary season on Saturday, December 13th at 2 p.m. This musical afternoon invites audiences to experience the warmth, beauty, and nostalgia of Christmas traditions from Poland, Germany, Ireland, Mexico, and America at the Canterbury Woods Performing Arts Center, 705 Renaissance Drive in Williamsville, New York. The Old World Christmas Concert highlights a rich tapestry of international holiday music, including Polish kolędy, German, I don't speak German, and whatever the German word is for Christmas carols, that's what the next word is. Weihnachtsslider? That was my best guess. Mexican villancicos, Irish and American Christmas classics. Organizers say the beloved melodies evoke images of candlelit streets, snowy holiday markets, family gatherings, and generations of shared joy, faith, and tradition. This year's 80th anniversary performance features an exceptional lineup, including the Chopin Singing Society, a renowned Polish-American choral ensemble, preserving the beauty of traditional kolędy and sacred music. German-American band, celebrated for their lively brass arrangements that bring German Christmas festivities vibrantly to life. Kindred, a talented husband and wife vocal team admired for their warm harmonies, heartfelt artistries, and intimate musical connection. Their expressive interpretations of seasonal works bring both tenderness and spirit to the holiday repertoire. Amore and Heritage Dance, a dynamic cultural dance ensemble whose vibrant performances illuminate global traditions through movement, storytelling, and colorful costume. A brief reception will follow the performance. All are welcome to stay and celebrate. Tickets are $15 and can be ordered at canterburywoods.com. Let's go to our Polish news bites. Saab wins submarine contract for Polish Navy. Poland has selected Saab, that's Saab, S-A-A-B, the automaker, to supply 3 A-26 submarines under its Orca maritime defense program. The deal, worth about 10 billion zloty, roughly 2.73 billion US dollars, will also involve Sweden purchasing Polish arms and include a gap filler submarine for training until the new one arrives. The acquisition underlines Warsaw's ambition to strengthen Baltic Sea security amid regional tensions. Delivery is expected to begin around 2030, with the contract finalized by mid-2026. EU funds boost for Polish military modernization. The government of Poland announced it will receive approximately 44 billion euros, or $50.9 billion American dollars, from the SAFE program to upgrade its defense capabilities, says Prime Minister Donald Tusk. The funding will support purchases of drones, border guard and police equipment, investments in space and AI for defense, as well as infrastructure such as roads and rail near strategic sites. The move reinforces Poland's role in bolstering NATO's eastern flank and safeguarding maritime zones under the Safe Baltic Initiative. Snow and cold snap cause widespread power outages. A severe cold front swept through Poland, bringing heavy snowfall up to 15 to 20 centimeters in central regions and over 40 centimeters in the south, and frigid temperatures reaching minus 8.5 Celsius in some mountainous areas. The storm triggered some 2,900 emergency firefighter responses and left approximately 75,000 homes without power, especially around Rzeszów. Several flights were delayed after a Warsaw to Vilnius flight skidded off the runway. Auschwitz prisoner can sue over Polish death camp phrase. A Polish court has ruled that a former Auschwitz inmate can seek financial compensation from a German publisher that described Nazi-operated extermination camps as Polish death camps. The court recognized the harm caused by the misleading phrase, but decided the plaintiff cannot demand a formal apology. The decision underscores ongoing sensitivity in Poland about preserving accurate historical memory of World War II atrocities. Russia to close Polish consulate in Siberia. Following Poland's decision to shut the last Russian consulate in Gdansk over the railway sabotage affair, the Russian Foreign Ministry announced the closure of the Polish consulate in Irkutsk, Siberia, effective December 30th. Poland called the Russian response unjustified. Moscow described Polish actions as hostile and threatened, quote, painful consequences, end quote. Let's go to an editorial. Europe's minefield. After a week of reports citing the 28-point plan Trump administration brokered peace plan for Ukraine as favorable to Russia, Vladimir Putin is now complaining about the deal. On Tuesday of this week, the Wall Street Journal reports that the Russian president says changes to the plan make it, quote, absolutely unacceptable, end quote. Then, at an investment forum that same day, Putin continued his bluster with the statement, quote, we do not plan to fight Europe. I've already said it 100 times. But if Europe wants to fight us and starts it, then we're ready right now, end quote. The original 28-point peace plan would limit the size of Ukraine's military to 600,000 personnel, prevent Ukraine from joining the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and prohibiting NATO forces from involvement in Ukraine, and have Ukraine give up land Russia has taken by its military incursions. This only rewards Putin for his bad behavior. How much that plan has been revised is uncertain. On Tuesday, Putin talked about his military strategy as if he's willing to widen the conflict. He said, quote, we're handling Ukraine carefully, in a surgical way, you understand? It's not a war in the literal modern sense of the word. If Europe suddenly wants to start a war with us and does so, then we can quickly get to a situation where we have no one to negotiate with at all, end quote. White House Special Envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are in Moscow to continue negotiations. The Trump administration has continued the Biden sanctions against Russia, and this October sanctioned Russia's two largest oil companies and their subsidiaries. But the war nor sanctions seem to faze Putin. Thinking he could end the conflict shortly after being elected was folly on the part of President Trump. The death toll and destruction has just continued to mount in Ukraine. The bully to the east continues to be a bully. Giving in to Putin's demands is not the answer. have a simple, extraordinary St. Nicholas Day this year. Each December 6th, as dawn breaks over Polish towns and villages, a small but cherished ritual unfolds. Children rise early, hearts pounding with hope, to discover whether St. Nicholas has passed through their homes. In an increasingly fast-paced digital world, the celebration of Mikołajki, St. Nicholas Day, offers something rare and essential, a moment of wonder rooted in community, generosity, and cultural continuity. Unlike the commercial frenzy surrounding Christmas, Poland's St. Nicholas Day maintains an intimate simplicity. The gifts are modest: sweets, fruit, a book tucked into a shoe or placed under a pillow. But their modesty is the point. They remind us that joy does not lie in extravagance, but in the attention we show one another. Parents, teachers, and even coworkers play along, slipping small surprises into desks and bags. It is a collective gesture that strengthens social bonds and affirms that generosity can be playful and lighthearted. Modern life often pressures traditions to evolve or fade. Yet, Mikołajki endures precisely because it balances nostalgia with accessibility. There is no exhaustive preparation, no financial strain, no elaborate feast to organize. What remains is the spirit of St. Nicholas himself, a figure of quiet charity whose legend encourages empathy and thoughtfulness. In celebrating him, Polish families not only honor a cultural heritage, but pass forward values that transcend time. As December begins and the winter nights lengthen, St. Nicholas Day stands as a gentle reminder that kindness can be both simple and extraordinary. At a moment when many feel overwhelmed, Mikołajki invites us to pause, to give freely, and to delight in small magic. Upholding this tradition is more than sentimental. It's an affirmation of who we are and who we hope the next generation will become. I'm going to mark St. Nicholas Day on my calendar for next year and plan something special. Not sure what. I'll get back to you on that. Okay. Lancaster Christmas Experience is a holiday back in time. Western New Yorkers are invited to relive the magic and nostalgia of a true Buffalo holiday classic as the Lancaster Christmas Experience proudly presents the original 1959 Am-Pol, that's Adam Meldrum Anderson's animated, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas windows, restored and preserved for new generations to enjoy at Faith United Methodist Church of Lancaster, 5505 Broadway in Lancaster, New York. These legendary animated scenes once drew thousands to Am-Pol's downtown department store, becoming one of the region's most treasured holiday traditions. We all remember pressing our noses to the Am-Pol's window, said Elaine Bialetsky, event chair. It's a joy to bring these historic displays back to life for the community. This year, the event includes a rare moment of history as the daughter of Mr. Robert S. Adam, former owner of Am-Pol's, will reunite with the iconic displays created under their family leadership. There are lots of event days. We have Saturday, December 6th, starting at noon, Sunday, December 7th, starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturday, December 12th at noon, Sunday, December 4th at 1 p.m. The suggested donation is $3 per person or $10 per a family of 4. Visitors are asked to bring a non-perishable food item to support the Trinity Food Pantry of Lancaster. The Lancaster Christmas Experience includes authentic original 1959 Am-Pol's animated window scenes, classic 'Twas the Night Before Christmas storytelling, restored mechanical animations by restoration artist Michelle Costa, and details faithful to the original downtown display. Let's take our first break. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Am-Pol Eagle on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. More activities. Let's see what we've got here. Sounds of the Season set for December 12th. St. Gregory the Great Family Faith Formation will present Sounds of the Season, a Christmas celebration. An evening filled with festive music, community warmth, and the joy of Christmas on Friday, December 12th at 7 p.m. in the Canterbury Woods Performing Arts Center in Williamsville. This Christmas program features a blend of traditional and religious holiday music performed by ensembles and gifted soloists. Featured performers include Father Bill Quinlivan, a cherished priest, songwriter, and performer celebrated for his moving liturgical and Christmas music. Josh Vacanti, a dynamic vocalist known for his standout performances on The Voice, recognized for his soulful, powerful sound. Sydney Sturlis, a talented singer and fellow The Voice alum, whose expressive, polished vocals capture audience with grace. Sam Vacanti and additional guest performers offering their musical gifts to enrich this joyful seasonal celebration. Tickets are available at canterburywoods.com. Just a reminder, this program is different from the program I just read about that features sort of an international theme with Polish and German and other Spanish, Hispanic, and other Christmas songs in the program. Okay, after all those announcements, now we're going to go to Polonia's calendar. We have, Saturday, December 13th, Women's Advent Retreat. With God, all things are possible. It is at the Villa Maria Convent, 600 Dote Street. It's from 9 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. It's a $30 donation to Felician Sisters. To register, 716-892-4141. Again, 716-892-4141. This is Saturday, December 13th. This is a repeat. Old World Christmas concert celebrating the Polish Arts Club's 80th anniversary, honoring holiday Christmas traditions of Poland, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, and the United States of America. It's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at Canterbury Woods Performing Arts Center, 705 Renaissance Drive. Tickets, canterburywoods.com. Saturday, December 13th, Christmas Around the World, a Polish Christmas extravaganza. That's at St. Teresa Roman Catholic Church Parish Center, 33 Mineral Springs Road. That's in South Buffalo, New York. It's sponsored by the General Pulaski Association. Music from 1 to 4, 7 polka bands, 6 to 9 p.m. Hocus Polkas, 11 to 2, music is 1 to 4, that's 7 polka band, not bands. That's 7 is the name of the band, playing from 1 to 4. 6 to 9 is Hocus Pocus. 11 to 2 p.m., meet Joyce Berzinski-Kataszewski, the 1964 Pulaski Day Parade Princess. Food, pictures with Santa, and more. Sunday, December 14th, Christmas in Polonia. Noon Mass at St. Stanislaus Church, 389 Peckham Street in Buffalo, followed by Polish Saturday School Jaselka, traditional Vigilia, and Christmas music with Captain Tom and the Hooligans in the Social Center. Tickets are $25 for adults, $10 for children 4 to 12 years old, under 4 is free. Pre-sale table of 10 is $225. RSVP Tamara Schrammel, 716-903-3030. 3242. Again, 716-903-3242. Sunday, December 14th, Kalina Singing Society Vigilia Luncheon, Polish Falcons Clubroom, 445 Columbia Avenue in Depew, 1 p.m. Tickets are $45. Call 716-867-3161. 716-867-3161. We're into January. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. Polish American Congress, Western New York Christmas Party. The Clement Mansion, 786 Delaware Avenue at 6 p.m. Members are $35. Non-members are $45. If you show up at the door day of, it's $50. RSVP to 716-864-6110. 716-864-6110. Sunday, January 4th, 2026, Polish Singers Alliance District 9 Festival of Carols. Host choir is the Chopin Singing Society. It's at 3 p.m., St. Gregory the Great Church, 200 St. Gregory Court in Williamsville, New York. The choirs include Chopin Singing Society, Monsignor Adamski Polish Saturday School Choir, Symphonia Choir of Hamilton, Ontario, and Cantabile Choir. Special performance by Melanie Biebeck, pianist. So much going on. Presents to shop for, cookies to bake, babkas, plotzeks, finding the Apłatek, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Felician Sisters bring 150th anniversary to a close. We have some black and white photographs here I'll go over first. Sisters Catherine Marie Elizabeth Rotterdam and Sister Margaret Marie Padilla. They are, I'm guessing they're in a church because I see priests' investments in the background, and both sisters are carrying candles in procession. Sister Judith Marie Kubitsky is at the lectern, could be doing a reading. Then we have Sister Mary Rosalind Rosolovsky, and she is featured in front of a photographic display at the Heritage Center. And last, we have Sister Mary Anna Falbo, and she is playing the flute. And it doesn't say what the event is, but it is a photograph of her playing the flute. Okay, that's the end of the photographs. Let's see what this is all about. We've been reading about the Felician Sisters anniversary over the last several weeks, but I guess we're bringing it to a close. This is by Lala Markut. Quote, "The Lord has done great things for us. We are filled with joy of 150 years." End quote. The grand closing of the 150th anniversary year of the Felician Sisters of North America was held in Livonia, Michigan, to commemorate their founding by the 5 sisters who landed here in the United States from Poland following the direction of foundress, Blessed Mary Angelica Truskowska. It was a packed agenda on November 21st, 2025. The Buffalo delegation from the Immaculate Heart of Mary Convent Villa at 600 Dote Street was present, as were Felicians from other mother houses, including Canada, and all the other provinces, including sisters from Italy, Kenya, and Poland. Following the gathering at the Tables of Hope, led by Sister Mary Sharon Yacobucci, the open ritual and morning praise of prayer, song, and reading was led by Sister Jane Mary Gavlik. The welcoming address was given by Sister Judith Marie Kubitsky, the provincial minister of Felician Sisters of North America. Felician history researcher, Sister Mary Andrew Budinsky, gave a most important and informative lesson on the establishment of the Felician Sisters in the United States. Realized by these first 5 sisters from Poland in their pilgrimage, life, encounters, struggles, and accomplishments 150 years ago in the fulfillment of their mission and legacy. The Did You Know lesson was filled with facts and figures and inspiring stories. The keynote speaker was Sister Mary Elizabeth Imler, OSF, who is the General Minister of the Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Heart in Frankfort, Illinois. Her presentation honored the Felicians' faith-driven and numerous commitments to promotional efforts, mentoring, outreach programs, educational efforts, dedication to faith, medical service, chosen causes, care for orphans, the elderly, sick, and many more. All these efforts and more honored Blessed Mary Angela's legacy with our Lord's and Blessed Mother Mary's blessings. Joy, love, strength. Closing the morning program were announcement from Sister Mary Giovanni Monge of the 150th Anniversary Committee and Sister Grace Marie Del Priore, Archivist of the Felician Sisters of North America. Music and song were provided by some talented Felicians for the entire day's functions and activities. I'll bet that's what Sister Mary Anna Felbo was playing for. Continuing, in the afternoon, all attended the blessing and ribbon cutting of the Heritage Center at the campus convent in Livonia, Michigan, walking through the Heritage Center, visiting the archives, and watching the slide presentation of the 150th year-long celebrations and activities. Part of the Heritage Center includes a short movie about those 5 sisters landing in the United States, trekking to Polonia, Wisconsin, and the ultimate establishment of the provinces across North America and their many spiritual works. All attended Mass at the presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary Chapel, celebrated by the Most Reverend Bruce A. Lewandowski, CSER, Bishop of Providence, Rhode Island. Joining the Felicians at Mass were many clergy, senior priests, Felician associates, directors, and many employees from their many campuses, convents, as well as family and friends. In conclusion, Sister Michelle Marie Stakowiak was the MC at the festive 150th banquet. Speakers were Bishop Lewandowski and Livonia's mayor, Maureen Miller-Brosnan, who presented a plaque declaring November 21st Felician Sister Day. The keynote address was made by Sister Donat Marie Brish, the Minister General in Rome, with concluding remarks and farewell by Sister Judith Marie. The following day's activities were for the Felicians and their associates only. These sessions were to explore their future, their faces of change, and shaping of the next chapter of their missions. It is worth a note that a few sisters from Poland and the United States that were in a forced hiatus due to the instability in Haiti are heading back to continue their service there. Sister Mary Inga Borko is the lead on this mission. This celebration marked a wonderful conclusion to this joyful year of celebrations in the provincial campuses and convents by the Felician Sisters, their associates, employees, ministry partners, donors, benefactors, family, and friends. Well, that sounds like a marvelous, marvelous convention. I don't know what I'm looking to see. Gathering at the Tables of Hope was one of the titles that they called it. I'm always interested in Felician sister stories since my father's sister, my aunt, was the former Louise Yanitsky, who became Sister Mary Augustine. Fond memories of Sister Mary Augustine. Let's jump to Tom Tadapachki. He's got a a couple of photographs here. Jarecki's escape from communist Poland remembered. The photograph, very handsome man, Franciszek Jarecki. The photo source is the first radio broadcasting and leaflet group of the 82nd 39th Army Unit, United States Army Command Report. It's from the 30th of April, 1953, and it's in the National Archives at College Park, Maryland. And then there's a photograph in a display case. It's tall. It's a full upright mannequin, and it says Jarecki's flight suit on display at the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. So, Franciszek must be pretty famous. Let's see what Tom Tarapaczki has to say about him. Today, the name Franciszek Jarecki has been mostly forgotten. However, the Polish pilot gained international fame in 1953 when he staged a daring escape from communist Poland in a MiG-15 jet. Jarecki was born in 1931 in Wolica, a town near Kraków. He had a happy childhood until war broke out. His father died in the war in 1939, but Franciszek and his mother managed to survive. At a young age, Franciszek wanted to become a flyer, and with that in mind, enrolled in a pre-engineering course at the Jablonski Academy in Kraków. He eventually attended the prestigious Polish Air Force Academy in Dęblin and graduated at the top of his class. However, he was told that he wouldn't become a pilot unless he joined the Communist Party. He reluctantly got his party card and his wings, but that strengthened his resolve to escape. He knew that the best way to do that was by plane. In the early 1950s, Jarecki was assigned to Słupsk in northern Poland near the Baltic Sea. There he flew MiG-15s that were provided to the Polish Air Force by the Soviets. On March 5, 1953, he made the momentous decision to defect to the West. Coincidentally, it was also the day that Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin died. It was a very risky move for Jarecki. Just a year earlier, Edward Pitko, an instructor at Dęblin, also desired to defect. Pitko flew a plane to the west, but was intercepted and forced to land by the Soviets. They returned him to Poland, where he was put on trial for high treason. Within weeks, he was found guilty and put to death. But Jarecki managed to defect without interference. It only took a few minutes for him to fly from Słupsk to the Danish island of Bornholm. However, it took some skill to bring the MiG down safely, as the tiny airport was not designed for jet landings. After the Danes determined that he was a defector, not a spy, they brought in American specialists to examine the MiG. They thoroughly checked out the plane, then, in accordance with international law, returned it by ship to Poland a few weeks later. It was the first intact MiG-15 to reach the West. The MiG was a formidable fighter jet developed by the Soviets after World War II and was used extensively during the Korean War. Not only did Jarecki's defection allow Western aviation experts to take apart and examine a Soviet fighter jet, but he was also able to provide detailed information about Soviet aircraft and air tactics. Jarecki instantly became a media celebrity. While in London, he was recognized for his courage by the Free Polish government. In the U.S., he was welcomed by President Eisenhower and granted American citizenship by a special act of Congress. His first-hand account was carried by many newspapers, and he had speaking engagements in a number of U.S. cities. Jarecki came to Buffalo in May of 1953, where he spoke to an audience of over 2,000 people at Buffalo's Dąbkowski. The Buffalo News reported that Jarecki talked about the, quote, unmerciful exploitation of Polish workers by the communist authorities, and urged his audience to be vigilant of the efforts by the communists to undermine American morale. He also revealed that he had planned to defect earlier, but waited so that he could bring the latest version of the MiG to the West. Yarecki attended Alliance College in Pennsylvania, where he received his doctorate with honors in engineering. He settled in Erie, PA, and eventually established his own company, Yarecki Industries, which made custom valves. Frank, as he was known, married and had 5 children. He died in Erie, PA, on October 24th, 2010, at the age of 79. But Yarecki's heroic actions have not been completely forgotten. Before he died in 2006, a Polish TV station made a film, Yarecki, which is part of a series telling stories about Poles who escaped the country in the post-war era. Also, visitors to the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. can see the uniform which he wore during his dramatic escape from communist Poland more than 70 years ago. What a story. Wow. And I must say, as I was reading something that Frank or Franciszek commented on and was quoted in this story, in his talks, he talked about the fact that he urged his audience to be vigilant of the efforts by the communists to, quote, undermine American morale, end quote. I think that is still a very, very valid message. God bless Franciszek Yarecki. Let's take another break. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Am-Pol Eagle on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Moving along in the Am-Pol Eagle. This is an advertisement, but Festival of Lights. It's the 35th annual display at Our Lady of Fatima Shrine. It started November 22nd, and it goes to January 4th, 2026. And you can go to www.fatimashrine.com for the illumination schedule and other details, I'm sure. Okay. We have some color photographs courtesy of Christine Palczewski. The beginning of Advent. On November 30th, 2025, Christians celebrate the first day of Advent, a time dedicated to preparing spiritually for Jesus' birth at Christmas. It is a time emphasizing hope, peace, joy, and love, as depicted in the lighting of the Advent candles found on the Advent wreath. Father Walter Grabowski is seen blessing the Advent wreath at St. Stanislaus Church in Buffalo, while the first candle is lit, the candle of hope. This candle symbolizes the anticipation of the coming of the Messiah, the light of the world, and the fulfillment of the Old Testament promises. So there is the photograph of Father Walter Grabowski in his purple vestments. The altar is draped in purple. The candles are purple, except for the pink one, and there are purple ribbons and then one pink ribbon draped from the large wreath that holds the Advent calendars. And there is a photograph of the, I'm tempted to say altar boy, but that would date me. It's the altar server lighting the first Advent calendar. Okay. This is a timely article. And this is the best of our late friend, Robert Stabel, the late Polish Polonian affairs writer. It's time to prepare your Vigilia checklist. I've always loved Vigilia. Setting the mood. If you like the hustle and bustle of shop until you drop Anglo commercial holidays, then continue making a fuss about buying, wrapping, hiding, and opening presents. But if interested in the gentler, more family-friendly climate of our Polish heritage, you can set the proper mood by telling your kids about Wigilia. Let them know what it's all about and what part they can play in the preparations. Above all, make it clear that Christmas Eve is not just the day before the main event. Wigilia is the main event. Wigilia lore. How you are on Wigilia, you will be the whole year, is one popular belief. Also, tell your kids the legend of animals being able to speak and water in wells turning to wine at midnight. Such stories may help pique your youngsters' interest in and curiosity about this magic Polish night. Gifts on Wigilia. Although gifts and gadgets are not the true meaning of Christmas, youngsters are big on presents, so let them know they will get to open theirs right after Christmas Eve supper. In families which do not observe Wigilia, kids have to wait until the next day. Meatless meal. Whether you are preparing everything from scratch, outsourcing, or using a bit of both, it's good to give this some thought well in advance. The meatless supper centers on beet or mushroom soup, herring, other fish, pierogi, sauerkraut, noodles, and sweet dishes incorporating poppy seeds, honey, nuts, and raisins. Recipes are found in this paper and on the internet. Many of the items are available at Polish markets, groceries, and delis in big and often mid-sized northeastern and midwestern cities. Tabletop hay. Depending on where you live, getting a handful of hay to scatter on the bare tabletop may be easy enough to find a riding stable or livestock feed store. To find at a riding stable or livestock feed store. If not, then some well-dried lawn clippings will do. Don't tell anyone. Pure white tablecloth. The gaudy tablecloth spangled with reindeer, candy canes, Santas, and poinsettias are okay for Christmas Day, if you like that sort of thing. But the Wigilia tradition requires a pure white one devoid of garish gimmickry. Look through your linen closet or pick one up at the mall. And as a last resort, just use a spanking clean sheet. White sheet. Do people own white sheets anymore? I do. Decorations. In addition to your Christmas tree and Christmas crib, the nativity set, consider sticking an evergreen sprig or branch behind hanging pictures and mirrors. They can also be displayed in a vase. If you add several stalks of grain, wheat or rye, you will approximate the old Polish Wigilia custom of standing sheaves of grain in all four corners of the room. An empty place setting. Traditionally, there is an empty place setting at the Wigilia table in memory of a dearly departed loved one, but it may be offered to any lonely person who would otherwise have to spend this festive evening in solitude. It's best to invite that person well in advance. Opłatek. The Christmas wafer is the holiday's main ritual artifact, without which there can be no Wigilia. If your parish or some local retail shop does not supply opłatek, contact Polish Art Center at www.polartcenter.com. Your reader's comment, not sure where that Polish Art Center is. I think Robert Stibbe lived in Michigan, if I remember correctly. So for local Western New Yorkers, opłatek can always be found at the Broadway Market. And the Polish churches, St. Stan's will certainly have opłatek, and Corpus Christi. And just if you know of a Polish church, call the rectory, see if they can provide you with opłatek. I'll bet if they can't, they'll tell you where to go. Okay, continuing. Family Kolenda sing-along. For the words in Polish and English and music, simply Google Polish Christmas carols or Polskie Kalendy. You can then print out and pass around to family members as many copies as needed. Vigilia etiquette. Vigilia dishes are brought in and eaten one at a time. One of the beliefs surrounding the meal is that no one should get up and leave the table until the supper is over. Another says everyone should sample at least the tiniest bit of every food on the table. Failure to do so may augur poverty and hunger in the year ahead. Gift distribution. If there will be young children present, it might be nice to have someone the kids don't know turn up in the role of Święty Mikołaj or St. Nicholas. Costumes are available from Michigan St. Nicholas Center or direct from Poland. If not, then appoint one of the youngsters to read and pass out the labeled presents from under the tree. This is your reader. Google St. Nicholas and then look at the images, and I'll bet you could easily fashion a costume of St. Nicholas without too much difficulty, using some inexpensive fabric, some cardboard for the mitre that he wears, and maybe some gold ribbon on his vestments. Get a garden shepherd's hook, basket hook, and paint it gold. Just leave it in the corner. Doesn't have to carry it. Continuing, Shepherd's Mass. Midnight Mass, often held earlier than midnight, is a fitting culmination to this magic Polish night. Pasterka, Shepherd's Mass, is especially solemn and festive at our older Polonian parishes, so it may be worthwhile driving across town to attend. Well, a reminder of all the wonderful things to do and eat and sing at your Vigilia dinner. I certainly remember many Vigilias on Leonard Street in Lackawanna. I remember the Opłatek. I remember the Sledge. We liked, back in the day, you could get pike and good haddock and smelt. I don't know the Polish word for smelt, but that was the fish. And my mother or my grandmother always made groch I kapusta, a mixture of sauerkraut and split peas into kind of a mash. It wasn't pretty, but we loved it. There were always some Christmas cookies afterwards, and then midnight mass, or better yet, and you found a church that had a very early midnight mass, so the youngsters didn't have to fall asleep in church. And let's see here. There is a notice here that 4 p.m. Christmas Eve Mass will be broadcast on WBBZ TV, 67.1, cable channel 5. As I recall from an earlier article, FiOS is cable channel 5. And I guess Spectrum, is 67.1. So remember, 4 p.m. Christmas Eve Mass will be broadcast on television. If you are unable to get out, or you just want to get an early start to your Vigilia celebration. Okay, polkas on tap. Let's see what we've got today. Sunday, December 7th, Vigilia Christmas. It's at Polish Nook, 2242 Kutaback Avenue in Niagara Falls, New York. It's from 3 to 7 p.m. Dinner, dance, sing-along, $25 per person. New Direction Band. you can call 716-282-6712 for reservations. I'll do the number again, 716-282-6712. Saturday, December 13th, Polka Boosters Christmas Party at the Depew Polish Falcons, 445 Columbia Avenue in Depew, New York, 5:30 to 10:30 p.m. $35 for members, $45 for guests. Advance tickets only. Call Chris at 716-771-1076, 716-771-1076. New Direction will play the polkas. Also on Saturday, December 13th, this is a repeat of the Polonia calendar, Christmas Around the World, at St. Teresa's Roman Catholic Church Parish Center, 33 Mineral Springs Road in South Buffalo. From 1 to 4 p.m., 7 will play. From 6 to 9 p.m., Hocus Pocus will play. It's free admission. There will be food, beer, and wine available for purchase. On Sunday, December 21st at 16 Ellicott Place in Depew, New York, from 5 to 8 p.m., special delivery will play the polkas again. Okay. I'm scrolling through here. I'm just going to kind of skip around because there are a couple of articles, but perhaps too long, so I'm going to give you at least the title. There is an image of a pack of wolves, and the image is by Larry Clark from Pixabay. And this article says that wolves are more afraid of human voices than of barking dogs, a study finds. And the study from the University of Gdansk, done by Maciej Szewicz, a PhD, and colleagues. And they used cameras with speakers playing human voices and other sounds. And it said the experiment proved that wolves react with stronger fear to human voices than to barking dogs or bird calls. How about that? The study of wolves and their reaction to people are part of of research. Let's see, of Dries Kuiper, Associate Professor at Mammal Research Institute, Polish Academy of Sciences, Bialewża, and Katarina Kasper from IBS PON, Current Biology. Okay. Interesting.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. At 5 o'clock, we have the Lockport Union Sun and Journal. And at 6 o'clock, we've got the Wall Street Journal Off Duty. Stay tuned for these readings and more. If you're listening to this publication online, you're probably using our website, a podcast player like Spotify or iTunes, a streaming service like Siro, or a smart speaker. Did you know that we now have a dedicated app that can be downloaded to any mobile device, like a smartphone or tablet, for free? App users can conveniently access our live stream and any episode of our podcast easier than ever. To download the app, just type NFRRS in the search window in the Apple App Store or in the Google Play Store. Contact us anytime if you have any questions by calling 716-821-5555, extension 5. Thank you. following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision,